My mission is simple, to make you money. I'm here to level the playing field for all investors. There's always a bull market somewhere, and I promise to help you find it. Mad Money starts now. Hey, I'm Cramer. Welcome to Mad Money. Welcome to Cramerica. Other people make friends. I'm just trying to make you a little money. My job is not just to entertain, but to educate, teach. Call me at 1-800-743-CNBC or tweet me at Jim Cramer. If companies would just own up to their changing circumstances, things would be so much easier for everybody. But who wants to admit that they made mistakes? If they just own up, I think they'd earn a lot of credibility for themselves, leading to higher stock prices down the line. Instead, their stocks languish as investors try to assess what's really going on, and they presume the worst, not the best. And that's what I've been thinking about on a day like today, where the Dow lost 141 points, S&P was basically unchanged, and NASDAQ advanced 0.21%, because there's so much information and misinformation flying around at this point in the earnings season that it's very easy to be led astray. So let me give you the most egregious examples of omission that I've seen this earnings season that will cause you to make faulty decisions. Notice, I didn't say anybody's lying, but they're leaving out important information that can cause you to make mistakes. And it's you that I care about, not them. First, despite the fact that roughly 20 million Americans are said to be taking the GLP-1 weight loss and diabetes drugs, no food or beverage companies willing to admit that these drugs have hurt them at all. They won't even hint at it. Now, let's puzzle over this. We know that people eat much less when they take these GLP-1s. We know that they consume a lot less snack food, for instance, because the drug tamps down on cravings. Do you wake up in the morning and drink alcohol? No, of course not. But after work, it tastes pretty darn good for many Americans. Natural, right? But that's not likely in GLP-1s because when it comes to liquor, it always feels like it's 7 in the morning. There's no real taste to alcohol, so why drink it knowing that it's not good for you? Wine? You prefer grape juice. Again, no cravings. These drugs are incredibly powerful. The idea that they aren't doing any damage to the snack food companies or the liquor places is just insane. Yet, here's Mars apparently on the verge of buying snack food maker Kellanova. Here's Smucker's thrilled with its acquisition of Hostess Brands with its flagship Twinkies. Here's Brown-Forman with horrendous sales. It's, I don't know if you know any, like Tennessee, because I've got to tell you, their stuff. When you drink Jack Daniels, it is filled with sugar, okay? And that is really being impacted, but they won't say what it is that's hurting them. They say it's not cannabis, they say it's not GLP-1s. But same thing with Diageo, the liquor company. Why is Casamigos down 20%? No one will say anything. I've got to tell you that the refusal to attribute any of this weakness to GLP-1s is just hogwash, okay? Hogwash. If you didn't know better, you might think that these companies all got in a room and said, do not mention GLP-1s, no matter what. No matter what analyst says it, no matter what reporter asks it, do not let it be known. I wonder how long they can maintain this fiction. It would be better if they just own that it's a problem rather than ignoring it. The price earnings multiples are shrinking as it is. I mean, is anyone fooled? Who knows how much they're really being hurt unless somehow we've decided that 20 million people eating about half of what they used to and drinking dramatically less doesn't matter to these companies? And the GLP-1 users tend to be gigantic consumers of the worst. That's what they do. So you've got the biggest consumers eating much less. Come on. It drives me crazy. Second canard. Nobody has to lower prices. Everything's fine. Very few companies have reduced prices post-COVID, no matter how much they raised them during the pandemic. Costco and Walmart have pushed prices back. No coincidence that they've been among the best-performing retailers. But the airlines, endless underperformers, simply want up to any need to roll back prices. They act as if they didn't even take them up in the first place. Hotels and entertainment are no different. They raised prices drastically during COVID. They won't cop to raising prices too much, even as their forecasts are coming down hard. Many of the restaurants have asserted that their price increases haven't really hurt sales, or in some cases refuse to admit that they need to roll them back. Starbucks, for example, gives good deals to its rewards members, but they can't seem to get new people to join. I think that's because there's no entry-level coffee offering with a low price to get people in the door. They don't want to go there. Is everyone in the industry obtuse and in denial? No. Just like Costco and Walmart, Chipotle, arguably the best-run restaurant chain, admitted to raising prices too high in California because of the impact on their bottom line from the state minimum wage. It hurt sales, and they acknowledged it. Hey, is there any reason why Chipotle's the best, acknowledged best-run restaurant chain with the best stock? They own what's wrong, and they change it. Third canard, we're constantly being told that none of the big companies spending a fortune on NVIDIA chips for AI has seen any meaningful return on that investment. They're only doing it to prevent their competitors from getting an edge. That's what we keep hearing. That's absurd. Memo to the clueless naysaying individuals. Have you seen what Meta Platforms has been doing with their computing power? They have, out of nowhere, become one of the most popular generative AI platforms with Meta AI. You have to try it. I have switched to it. It is that good. Meta's been using their NVIDIA purchase to make Instagram and Reels much more relevant to you, much faster, cleaner. Meta has the best numbers of any of the tech titans. You think that's some sort of coincidence? Google and Amazon aren't buying because they're worried that the other guys might do something. They're specifically worried that Meta's going to catch and pass them, and they should be. NVIDIA's Jensen Huang has been touting you can get 4 times your money if you buy his chips. 4 times return. I think Meta could end up getting that. The others, they actually have to spend to play catch-up. It's not mythical, it's reality. How much money have you made over the years betting against Jensen Huang? Fourth card, and it is a good one, that has fooled many people. Intel's fine, better than ever. Don't worry about it. I keep hearing that Intel's going to make a huge comeback, that it's catching up to the others in the data center, that has an NVIDIA killer in Gaudi 3, that it's using the CHIPS Act money to further its dominance. Dream on! Have you seen Intel's balance sheet? Can you read one? Do you think a company cuts its dividend last year and then suspends what was left of it this year in order to assert its dominance? Look, this is not the Intel of old, even though we want it to be, when it was the Colossus that bestrode the universe. AMD isn't nipping at their heels. AMD is dominating. It's actually taking gobs of market share. And Gaudi 3 is not a factor when it comes to NVIDIA's high-end chips, despite Intel's protestations. I wouldn't want to be Intel's partner. Not that, again, anyone would ever admit to that, whether they're in government or whether they're in business, whether they're clients, whether they're customers. Fifth and final, we're told enterprise software is doing better than ever. Forget that this is the single worst area of the stock market. It's a wasteland, people, as companies cut back on their spending on software that's meant to help them run their businesses better. Perhaps they can't figure out the return on investment in a world where AI could make all sorts of employees redundant. With the exception of ServiceNow, and by the way, no need to tell me that I'm doing it right, ServiceNow. Except for ServiceNow, so many of these enterprise software companies reported so-so or just plain bad numbers. We don't know why, but it would help if anyone in the segment would own up to what's ailing them. They won't because they're so used to delivering blowout numbers. They keep hoping it's going to come back. They don't know how to explain away the disappointment because they refuse to even acknowledge it. Bottom line, that is a short list, because I don't have all day, of obfuscations, canards, and downright refusals to recognize the problems and hurdles businesses are facing. Maybe they think if they ignore the problems, they'll go away. Let me ask you, has that ever worked for you? Denial is a powerful defense mechanism, but it is a terrible way to run a business. And by the way, Kesha was quite wrong when she said brush your teeth with a bottle of Jack. There is no time that is a good idea. All right, let's go to Steve in Arizona. Steve.
Hey, Jim, how you doing?
I am doing well, Steve. How about you?
Good. Just signed up a club member last month.
Yes!
Yeah, that's it, man. I'm consider myself a mid-level investor. I'll make it quick. There's just 2 things. I just wish some of your callers wouldn't bother spending so much time going over a stock chart, endorsing a particular stock. I'm sure that wastes everybody's time. I'm sure you'll agree with that.
Everybody's nice who calls. I'm thrilled. And everyone's very graceful and gracious, and so am I. So go ahead, Steve. Go ahead.
Yeah, Taiwan Semi, out here in Arizona, $40 billion plant. These guys are just, I know it's the whole geopolitical thing, but, it's wow. These guys are.
I think you're fine. I do think that there is always going to be a worry about Taiwan. I think that, though, if you go back to what Lisa Su, the great Lisa Su, said in AMD, she didn't tell you not to worry about it because nobody says that. But she says, look, this one is not going to be a problem, and I am with her. Let's go to Sharon in Minnesota. Sharon.
Hey, Jim. Thanks for all your help. I just wanted to ask about ELF. It's gone down in price, but with the lower guidance, do you think now is a good price, or would you hold
you know
or
what?
sell?
I don't usually say this, Sharon, but it's disconcerting to me that Ulta hit a low. The action in Estee Lauder is so horrible that they ought to just issue a release saying we don't know what we're doing and we're going to just go away. So I'm worried about ELF just because the competitors are flailing so badly. I will give Tarang his due, though. He'll come out of it first. But this is the single worst neighborhood I have ever seen
the House of Pain
in this market. Let's go to Jack in California. Jack.
Booyah, Jim. Fight on from Southern Cal.
Love it.
I was curious as to what you think for the future of Paramount Global, considering the merger with Skydance Media.
I think this is a fabulous time to sell it. It's a fabulous time to sell it because you're still going to get $10. They can't take that away from you. Kind of like, who's that, Gershwin? Anyway, that's the deal. Look, maybe all these companies want to believe that if they ignore the problems like pricing and GOP-1s, they'll go away. I say that's hardly ever worked. Oh, man, tonight, steelmaker Cleveland-Cliffs hit a new 52-week low today. Red flag or buying opportunity? I'm hearing from the CEO. Then I'm taking a look at one sector that I think will benefit the Fed's environment for the rest of the year. You won't want to miss it. And not many companies can say they make ice cream machines, outdoor fans, and hair dryers all under one roof. I'm getting a read on the consumer with the CEO of Shark Ninja. So stay with Cramer.
Don't miss a second of Mad Money. Follow @Jim Cramer on X. Have a question? Tweet Cramer. #MadMentions. Send Jim an email to madmoney@cnbc.com or give us a call at 1-800-743-CNBC. Miss something? Head to madmoney.cnbc.com.